This story is a bit long, but trust me, every detail matters. I'm going to dive straight into it, only the parts that really count. Everything I'm about to tell you, I promise it's true. I'm 24 now, but this happened when I was about 16. I was living with my family in a small town nestled on the edge of a forest. Our house wasn't anything fancy, just a modest two-story home with a backyard that backed up to thick woods. The kind of woods that look peaceful during the day, but feel wrong after sunset. I had a friend who would come over often. We'd hang out in my backyard, play music, skateboard, or just chill on the porch. But one thing about my backyard always bothered me. The woods never seemed empty. Sometimes I could swear I'd see movement between the trees, shadows that didn't belong. My parents always brushed it off. It's just animals, they'd say, but I knew better. One Friday evening, around 9:30 p.m., my friend and I were sitting outside talking. The streetlights barely reached the edge of the yard, so the woods were pure darkness beyond our fence. Then I noticed a figure, just standing there, barely visible between the trees. At first, I thought it was my imagination, but my friend saw it too. A man, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a dark hoodie, just watching us, completely still. No movement, no stepping forward, just standing there. We froze. I don't think either of us breathed for a good 30 seconds. Then, slowly, the figure turned and disappeared deeper into the woods. That was the first time, but not the last. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing him more often. Sometimes I'd catch glimpses of him when walking to the trash cans or through my window late at night. Always the same posture, always watching. One night, I stayed up late on my computer, listening to music, and I glanced out the window. He was there again. Only this time, he wasn't alone. A second man, smaller, was crouched behind a tree. They seemed communicating silently, like they were studying me. I couldn't take it anymore. I told my parents, but they didn't believe me. "You're just being paranoid," my dad said. "It's probably kids messing around." But something about the way they were moving, the way they stared, it didn't feel like kids. The next night, I decided to confront him. I grabbed my bike and rode toward the edge of the woods, hoping I could catch a glimpse and maybe scare him off. As I got closer, I noticed something chilling. The dirt by the tree was trampled in a perfect circle, like someone had been pacing there for hours. And then I saw his face, pale, expressionless, but unmistakably looking right at me, though he was still 30 feet away. I froze. My bike fell over. He didn't move, just stared. And then, slowly, he backed away, disappearing into the darkness. After that, things escalated. My mail started getting messed with, letters torn open, bills scattered. Sometimes I'd wake up to find the back gate open. My parents still refused to believe me, but I knew something was wrong. Then, one afternoon, my neighbor came over. He said he'd seen someone lurking near our fence every evening for weeks. My blood ran cold. I wasn't imagining it. The man was real. We called the police, but they never found anything. No prints, no footprints, no surveillance footage. It was as if he existed just at the edge of reality, only visible to those who noticed him. One night, around midnight, I was on my computer in the living room. The window was slightly open. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a shadow pass the window. I turned, and he was right there, just standing, silent, watching. I froze, heart pounding. I didn't even move. I just stared back. And then, slowly, he lifted his hand, not threateningly, but acknowledging me, like he knew I had seen him. Then he stepped back and vanished. I couldn't sleep that night or the next. A few months later, my family went on a weekend trip to the city nearby. I thought maybe leaving town would break the pattern. We were sitting in a cafe, enjoying lunch, and I glanced out the window. My blood ran cold. Across the street, leaning against a lamppost, him. The same hoodie, the same build, watching the cafe, watching me. I wanted to leave, scream, run, but something kept me frozen. He didn't move for almost 10 minutes. Then he walked away. But I couldn't stop thinking, how did he know I would be here? When we got back home, I started digging. I asked neighbors, searched online for reports of break-ins, stalking incidents, anything. Nothing matched. But the trampled circle in the yard, the mail, the sightings, it all suggested someone had been obsessed with me, maybe even for years. I even considered setting up cameras, motion sensors, lights. But the more I planned, the more I realized, if he wanted to be seen, he'd let himself be seen. If he wanted to remain hidden, I'd never catch him. Then came the day I realized something terrifying. The man wasn't just watching me. He was always watching the house, the yard, even my parents. He wasn't a random stranger. He knew our routines. He knew our habits. And somehow he had always been there, lurking, unseen, waiting. Every night I'd hear subtle noises near the woods, a branch snapping, footsteps fading away, and I'd remember him, always watching, always waiting. I don't know why he did it or what he wanted. I moved houses after graduation, but I still have nightmares. Sometimes, when I'm out jogging or walking in a park, I see a figure at the edge of the trees, standing still, just watching. I've never told anyone the full story before, but now you know. And if you live near the woods, maybe watch your windows tonight, because sometimes the watcher is closer than you think.